my regular day job used to be in like sales and stuff like that, and marketing. And it's one of the things that are always just so critical, having different perspectives. So you could get buy-in from a lot more people, if you don't understand, from a market. If I look at it for me as a market perspective, if I understand where the majority of my market is coming from and what they want from it, therefore I can produce a better product. I think the same for umpiring and the sport as well. If you want to grow the sport, you have to include more non-traditionalists, and understand what the challenges are and what they want out of it to make it better and make it more popular for them. I think it's really important to have all these non-traditional playing countries be a part of it, because you can understand why it is the sport stays at a certain level. One of the best, I think, formats of tournaments that came out from the FIH for me, and I think it's where I got my opportunity to step on the stage, because nobody is gonna try and look for, a great umpire coming out of like a country that has 1.6 million people or 1.4 million people and less than 500 play in the sport, and that was the World League Series. So Hockey World League Series introduced a format where a lot of different countries came and played in different areas. So for Trinidad, for example, we would have been stuck in playing Pan American hockey and being behind countries like USA, Argentina, Canada, Chile, so those would be countries qualifying for a lot of tournaments and getting a lot of exposure. In the World Series, the way it was structured, it allowed for certain teams like Russia and Japan and to come and play in Trinidad, and Trinidad to go out to different places and be exposed to them. And when Trinidad turns around and beats one of the European teams, the lower level or mid-tier European teams, 4 and 5-0, you're like, wait, maybe it becomes a little bit more of an even playing field because they're exposed to the middle tiers. So allowing the non-traditional countries to interact and get a chance at the higher level hockey or exposed to that is really important to grow the sport. I saw when I was in South Africa for a World League semi-final, which at that point was a qualifier for the World Cup. You had Chile women who were about ranked 3rd or 4th in the Pan American region, qualifying for the semi-final, with an actual shot to make it to the World Cup, closer than they've ever been, and losing to teams I think they might have lost all their games, but margins of 1-0 or 2, a 1-goal margin difference. So it wasn't that they were coming out and getting clobbered. And understanding where their challenges are to how to get to these different events, because 1, they didn't have a qualifying track. 2, their countries aren't necessarily pumping the funding into it as other countries maybe. And that could be helpful as well. So